Well, happy Sunday, everybody. I'm glad that you can join us today. This is Patrick with Light Source Engraving.
And this is Steve from Hobo with Wood.
And that's Rich, the Louisiana Hobby Guy. And we are the Laser Makers Round.
I'm glad to see you all here. Today we were going to be talking about some of the projects that we've done over the last 2 weeks since the last live stream. And one of them is going to be, actually two of them, is going to be this one and this one. And these are projects from Steve down there I really love this one. This one is just beautiful. Gift cards. So you slide it into here. You got your gift card. I mean, this doesn't get better than that if you want to give somebody a card. And so we'll be talking about that today. I will be running a job on the Lasermatic 10 behind us, which is going to be one of these gift cards. And what I've done is I've laid them out. Steve designed them. I've laid them out in light burn so that I can do 4 of them on one 12 by 12 sheet of plywood. And we're going to test it today. So the Lasermatic 10 is so accurate with the honeycomb bed. I know, or at least I hope, that I'm going to just drop that piece of wood on there. As you can see, it's off right now. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to drop that piece of wood on there, and we're going to start that burn and get 4 of them burned off with the graphics and everything while we're doing the live stream. So I hope you enjoy it today. We've also got 2 guests in the green room that are going to be joining us in a few minutes. So don't go anywhere. And Steve, we talked last night about you possibly giving away one of your purses.
Yeah, actually, if there's any interest, I'm all for it. I've got this purse that is finished product, ready to go to a new home if anybody's interest. Nice little carry chain there, and then it's got the heart design for Valentine's, but Valentine's passes, but still works. The living hinge. I went with all natural wood. I didn't do a flocking or a leather wrap or inlay but it's a nice project, and it's not very
tell us how much you charge for that. How much you've sold them for?
These anywhere from $180 to $200 a piece. Okay.
So today I think we're going to do a giveaway you agreed to, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's talk about channel donations, and anybody that what's your rule? Let's put a number on it. Anybody that donates more than $20 to the channel?
That sounds good. Yeah, because the one thing that I kind of felt a little unfair about last week was the thumb drive went to the highest bidder. Well, if I'm just starting out, I might not have been anywhere able to get into that competition. But if everybody has an equal opportunity, you do $20, then your name goes in. What did you call it? A spin the wheel, or it's a random?
Yeah, I have a spin the wheel. Yeah.
So anybody that does $20 donation on the channel today, you got as good a chance as anybody. And I don't think that we should do, and this kind of might hurt us, but multiple entries don't give you any better chance. I'd like to keep it an equal opportunity for everybody.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, if you want to make multiple entries.
Oh yeah, but I ain't saying. In fact, if you want to, just do that. It takes at least a $20 donation to get it in there. But hey, we'd love it if you give us 100.
Yeah. Anything over 20 is going to get on the spin the wheel today, and we're going to do that at the end of the live stream. And I think today we're going to limit the live stream to 90 minutes. So we'll just leave it at that. So I also wanted to, being that you brought it up, I wanted to talk about the thumb drive. So a lot of people have been emailing me about this thumb drive and the library that I've done for the Lasermatic 10. Well, this library is really, really extensive, and I've got graphic settings in there. I've got photo settings in there. I've got all types of wood. I've got cardboard. As a matter of fact, let me switch over to the other camera and show you just how beautiful cardboard comes out. So this right here is 3/4 of an inch wide, and all of the little snowflakes in there are perfectly cut out. So I used a pin, a regular pin, to pop out all the little pieces. Came out perfectly. You know, a lot of people don't use cardboard, and I think that they're missing out because we get so much cardboard today. All of your Amazon orders come in cardboard boxes. And with a little decoration, you can really make some nice things, even Christmas ornaments, out of cardboard boxes. And they're quick and easy jobs. And, you know, I love doing stuff out of cardboard. And I especially like doing layered things like boxes with scenery inside. In fact, I think I'm going to put that on my list of videos, my to-do list for videos, to do a layered scene, because they come out really, really superb. So, but today we're going to talk about some of the projects that we've been doing. So, Steve, tell us how you got this idea for these boxes, these gift card boxes.
Well, since you brought up both designs, just a little clarification. This design is the one that is free on the channel, Laser Makers Realm. The slide box, that one is on my Patreon page. So, but I came up with this because I have a cousin who just had his 18th birthday, and I trying my best to figure out what to get him, and the only thing I could come up with was just a gift card for one of his favorite restaurants. And I just wanted something better than that little envelope they slide it in. So I said, you know, I'm gonna make a box to put the gift card in.
That's such a great idea.
And it was unique, and they know that I'm doing a lot of laser crafting, and I said, hey, it's a way to make it really personal. I put a little engraving on there. If you look at it, the big words, thought was spent on your gift, but the little fine words, more thought was spent on this box than on your gift.
Yeah, I like that.
And then on the back of his, since he's also graduating this year, I think I put class of 2023 and property of, and that is name on there.
Yeah.
So it might, gift card comes out and this goes, but this could be used multiple times, from person to person, or he just holds on to it, and that's better than the little plastic or sleeve they put them in.
Well, I really like it, and in fact, I made 2 of them today, but this one I'm going to give tonight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to actually give this one to somebody as a gift tonight. Those
are nice because they've got a much larger area to do some engraving and nice artwork on.
Yeah.
But they're not as pocket friendly.
Well, before we get started, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this live so that everybody can see it. And this is the beauty of working in absolute coordinates. I don't know why so many maker channels on YouTube are moving that laser head around by hand. You shouldn't be, though. You should be working in absolute coordinates. Burn a wasteboard grid, work on that grid. I don't need a wasteboard grid on this machine because the honeycomb bed is built in, and it's on standoffs, and it's perfectly aligned at the 0-0 point. So I'm going to start this job while Steve talks some more about the boxes. I think you have these in a coffee shop already, right?
Oh, no, not those. I've got a different design that
different design.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start this while you talk.
All right, I've got my box, Steve, here. Let me show it real quick.
Yep.
Let me rearrange.
Well, real quickly, this is my wood that I'm going to use. It's Baltic birch plywood. The laser is homing. I'm just going to get it out of the way.
So I was thinking, let me cover up my face. How about for graduation gifts? So
absolutely.
This is Senior Tribe, and then the local high school logo. Sorry,
absolutely.
Yep,
absolutely.
There's a logo.
That came out
class
nice.
of 2023. But this is just a quick first draft that I did. This might turn out pretty cool.
Yeah, came out nice.
And inside is your card.
Yep. You may recall the little money trees I did at Christmas and had that on the Laser Makers Realm, and that was a great way to deliver cash as a gift. But then I'm at one of the shops that I sell those in mentioned to me, said, we got a lot of people who don't do cash. They do the gift cards. And I said, all right, we come up with the gift card delivery system. Let's see here. There we go. So this is another gift card delivery system I'm working on. I got these in the coffee shop here in town. The gift card just slides in a pocket there. So I've got several different coffee cup designs and different sayings, and I'm going to see how those work out. But the gift cards were just an alternative because so many people are not doing cash anymore. And same thing, Patrick. I've got all of the local high schools mascots ready to burn in class of 2023. So yeah, you and I, great minds think alike. Awesome. Which one are you doing, Rich? Are you doing the pocket or the slide?
I am doing this one right here.
Okay. So yeah.
And I've gone ahead and I've put in Lightburn. I've put 4 of them on the screen, nested them together, three wide and 1 on top. And I know that you're going to complain about that because of the grain of the wood, but I wanted to see. Yeah. So anyway, I've got it all set up. I just focused the laser. It homed itself. I moved it out of the way, focused it. Now all I'm going to do is hit start while we're in the broadcast here. And in the background, this thing, you'll see it working. It should be finished in about 45 minutes.
And if you're not aware what he's talking about, I'm going to complain about the grain on this little box. It won't really matter because it's so small, you can't really see any of the wood grains. But on the slide box, whenever I lay those out, if you'll see the wood grain, it continues all the way through on both sides. See that it's all continuous. I keep the continuity.
Yep.
But with the way he's nested them there, he's saying that's not going to hold true. But that little bitty project, that's not as important. You're never going to see it.
Now, speaking about the library again, I've just gone into the library. I've assigned my cuts and layers from the library. I'm not making any changes to that. And I'm just going to hit the start button. And we're going to find out how this works. Turn on the air assist and let it go to work.
And I'm just looking through the questions and seeing if anybody's got anything we need to be addressing.
Okay, in the meanwhile, we have a couple of guests with us today. I'm going to be bringing in the first guest, one of my favorite channels on YouTube, and it really shocks me that he doesn't have more subscribers. But I've got Steve here from Steve Makes Everything on YouTube, and just a great channel. Hello, Steve.
Hey.
Welcome. Good to see you.
I'd like to think my viewers are quality over quantity, but
yeah. Well, I'm one of your viewers, so I'm going to agree with that.
And I appreciate it.
So, Steve, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, how you got started on YouTube, what you do.
So I started being I've been a maker forever, basically, mostly in electronics. I designed some chips in lasers. I actually built my own here, but I worked in lasers for several years early in my career, and I just decided as I'm coming towards the end of my career and getting prepared for retirement, I wanted to do something that I actually I'll say actually enjoyed. It'll sound bad because I actually did enjoy my career, but I just wanted to do something where I could help people, become makers. There's a whole new generation of people who, maybe rightly so, don't think the way I think, and we have an opportunity to get another generation going to spawn off some new ideas. So that's what the channel's about.
Awesome. Now, if you guys haven't seen his channel, he's got some really fantastic videos. And the thing that attracted me to it when I first found it was the fact that he takes the time to go through the project from beginning to end. And unlike other makers on YouTube, there's nothing missing. So if Steve tells you, here's a project that I'm going to do, and you can do it too, you can be sure that you'll be able to do it. if there's any question, you go back and rewatch the video. I think his channel is a lot like mine, like Steve's, like Patrick's. We show you what we're doing, and you're able to replicate that. And those are the channels that I favorite on YouTube. Those are the ones that I subscribe to. Those are the ones that I want to watch. I don't want to see, all of these different crazy graphics and loud music playing and everything else. And Steve is definitely one of my favorite channels. I've got that bell notification set.
Well, I
Also,
do try to make sure that people understand that design is part of the process. Like, it really bothers me, and I mean, I certainly do it too. I have SVG files up on Etsy, but it really bothers me that somebody feels they need to go buy one of those rather than just design their own. So
exactly.
I try to get into that first part of, let's think about design, right? And that's
exactly
important. So.
And Steve does he doesn't do a lot of his design in Lightburn like I do. So for those of you that don't design in Lightburn, you'll be able to really benefit from his channel. And also we've got Gio from Maker Theory in the green room. Let's bring Gio in. Hello, Gio.
How's it going?
How you doing today? Now, Gio is a former associate of Patrick's, and he has a channel on YouTube, which is Maker Theory. So right down below, you'll see the link to YouTube. Gio, tell us a little bit about your background and why you got into lasers and YouTube.
All right. I worked as a drafter designer, doing a lot of mechanical designs for fab shops, and got exposed to big cutting lasers pretty early on, and can't afford those. So I've found that fiber lasers and the CO2 cutting lasers at home allowed me to tinker and play.
And what kind of lasers do you have?
I've got a 30 watt Mopa galvo fiber, and I've got a 45 watt CO2, and then I just picked up a used 80 watt BLXL. It's
Nice.
one of those build your own CNC machines. That's kind of crazy, so I'm rebuilding that right now.
Awesome. And what do you do on your channel? I'm sorry I haven't gone over and taken a look at it. I've been really busy lately.
Oh, no problem. It's a fairly new channel. I just started it this year, and I'm right now. My big thing is going through galvo fiber laser settings and understanding the parameters and how to make the different types of marks based on your machine.
Nice. Okay. So that's
Gio,
everybody. Hey.
Well, we were talking 2 weeks ago about the fiber lens setting converter that was coming soon. That's Gio's. He's working on one that he hopes.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember. Okay. Well,
tie it all back in together.
Yeah, I didn't tie the two together. So yeah, I do know some about your background. Thank you for doing that, by the way, Gio. That's awesome. I know the one that I have now doesn't really work, so I'm looking forward to seeing that software. Is that going to be free?
Yes. So it's going to be free. It'll be through my website. I'm going to have it as an online tool when I have it up and ready.
Well, put me on your list of your put me on your list of first people to try it, because I certainly want to do that.
Absolutely.
So let me just cover the donations again. Patrick, you're monitoring the donations today?
Yes.
Okay, so as they come in, I'd like you to just shout out the names. That way I can put them into the wheel of names, and we can do a spin later on. And maybe I should edit this message here, because I think I have the wrong message in here.
Well, I was going to ask you, are you going to do a thumb drive this week as well?
I am not doing a thumb drive this week.
That was what was running there.
I can do a thumb drive. Yeah, I can do that. That's not a problem. Let's see.
That one was the highest donor. That could help drive those, motivate those donors to get it up there.
Okay. All right. So
Highest donor got the thumb drive, and then everybody who does the 25 or more is a chance on the purse.
20 or 25?
Well, whatever we said a minute ago. Was it 20?
I think it was 20. Yeah.
Give me another 5 minutes. It'll be 40.
All right. So I'm going to edit this text over here. Donations of $20 or more today get one of you guys can pick up the chat while I do this.
Yeah, Steve makes everything. I happen to see you did a two-tone or two-color LED sign. I've done a couple of those. I haven't watched your video, but I'm definitely going to check that out now.
The focus of that one was, sorry?
Yeah, any cool things about that you wish to talk about?
Well, while I was building it, I was thinking about how to make a 3 or 4 color LED sign. So you may see one of those pop up at some point. But the focus of that wasn't exclusively to make a 2-color sign. It was to make one that was exceedingly bright. And that one you can actually look at in sunlight. It's really bright. And so I used very high density LED strips in the bottom, and there's no actual air gap between the 2 layers. So, because a lot of people will make 2-color signs, but they'll put an air gap between the 2 acrylic layers, and they just don't look right. There's too much. There's odd depth to them. So this one is very tight together, and you engrave inside on both sides so that you can just sandwich them together, and it looks like just one continuous engraving.
All right, so I've got that link up at the bottom. So now, the rules for today is anyone that donates to the channel $20 or more gets a free spin on the wheel for the purse. Okay, for Steve's purse. So let me put Steve back up in the middle here. And there is the wooden purse, handmade wooden purse. These are absolutely awesome, no question about it. And we'll do a second spin for the free 10-watt diode library for light burn, which is very extensive. I've got almost 200 hours of work into it, and these are proven settings, and that will come to you on a thumb drive like this one. So I'm also adding some special files to here as well. There's going to be a bunch of art libraries as well. So that's going to be a special bonus. Now this thumb drive comes free to anyone that owns a Rollei Lasermatic 10. Anyone that bought the Rollei Lasermatic since the launch 2 weeks ago is going to get emailed this library. So if you're a Lasermatic 10 owner, you can look for that email probably sometime Wednesday or Thursday, because I will have the email of the library sent out to Rollei on Tuesday. So by Tuesday, everything is going to be finished. I'll burn all of the thumb drives, send out the thumb drive to our biggest donor from last week, and get the rest, another one sent out to somebody who wins it today. So send in those donations. Now on the thumb drive, the dollar amount doesn't matter. If you want to send $1 or $2 or $5, it makes no difference. Down on the bottom of the screen, scrolling right here, you'll find the link for the donations to the channel. All of that money goes to Patrick and Steve, and they use that to buy supplies to make more designs, more projects, more things that we can share with you here on the Laser Maker's Realm. Steve, are you watching the questions today? Can you?
I did.
Start with a question?
One question here from Pat pops up. She's wanting to know what material the purse is made from, and this is out of 4.6 millimeter. This one is done out of birch.
Patrick, can you put the question up on the screen?
I got. Oops.
There we go.
Yeah. So this is 4.6 millimeter birch.
So now if somebody has 4mm birch and they buy that file from you, let's say, how do they adjust that?
In that the tool and light burner for adjust size of slots and tabs.
Somebody's got a video on that.
Yeah, I've got one. I think Rich has got one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if you want to know how to adjust the size, you can go to either of our channels and look up slots and tabs, and you'll find out how to resize that for the particular wood that you're going to use. I wouldn't suggest anything less than 4mm. Steve, do you think that you could go higher than that?
I have had people who have done it higher. It just right now the problem I had initially, the first couple of designs I did, the chain actually weighed more than the purse, even out of the 4.6 millimeter material. This is very, very lightweight, and this chain is more. It's Mopa. It's Mopa for the weight distribution. But right now this purse is empty, and the size on it, it's really only large enough for your like a cell phone and your wallet and lipstick. This is not a daily purse. It's an evening out or just to set up on the mantle and show off. But
very nice.
But yeah, I have had some that have done it with the thicker. I've even seen some people trying to do it out of MDF, maybe just as a trial. But
yeah,
this is finished, and it's got a sealed in several coats of lacquer, real heavy finish.
Yeah, I would say that a nice hardwood would probably be the best wood to make that out of.
And also a little clarification for the people posting questions. To keep things simple, we know who you're talking to. Anytime you got a question for Steve, makes everything, address that to Steve and address it to Hobo. Otherwise, we don't know which Steve you're talking to. I'm Hobo. I'm Hobo. So I even
All right,
look
Steve,
like
are you going to keep an eye on the questions and pop them up as they come?
I am working on it. Yes, sir.
Okay, I am going to switch over to another camera now. Let's see if I add this to the stream. This is my close-up camera. I talked earlier about the cardboard, doing things out of cardboard, but I wanted to show you today the card holder that I did of Steve's, and I wanted to show you the text on there. Can you see that well?
Wow, that is tiny.
Yeah.
That is 0.92 millimeter text. And I think it just came out awesome. And maybe you can get a better idea of how this works if I do it from here. So there, you pull the card out, and that's how you put it back together again. A really great gift. And this is the other one. See if I can get this one in the shot. So this one's a little larger, as you can see. And then this one is just a simple slide. And then inside here is your gift card. So I really love these two designs. They're really great. I'm going to actually use this one tonight to give someone a gift. And that's what I have running right now in the background on the other camera is the gift card. I have the smaller one running in the background.
All right.
That one is on the rolly. Let me zoom into that real quick. You can see that running in the background. Hi, Merrill. How are you doing today? Happy Sunday. Yes, Merrill is asking, do all future rolly buyers get the thumb drive? Yes, they do. Absolutely. They all get the thumb drive. That will be emailed to you by Leo at Rolly. I'm going to say probably on Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe Thursday. I'll be sending him the file on Tuesday. Patrick, you having a little trouble with that?
Yeah, I didn't turn autofocus on since I
okay.
changed my setup all around. But anyway, this was my project from last week. And whoever donates to Steve to get his purse, I'll include this. This is the actual pendant that I used in the video. So I'll throw that in.
Awesome. Well, why don't we do a separate drawing for that one, Patrick? We could do 3 different drawings.
you can do that. That's fine
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah.
And if you're
Yeah,
waiting on the other file that's supposed to be on my channel, I'll show that to you real quick. Here's what it's going to be. And it will be up on my channel soon.
I love the spikes.
So the
That's
cross,
a great idea for the cross.
the nail cross is on Laser Maker's Realm. The cross with the daffodils will be on Light Source Engraving. And then that'll be a phone stand you can cut out and then engrave.
Awesome. Yeah, I really like that cross made out of the nails.
And I made that yesterday, Patrick, and addressing a comment. I don't know if you've seen it on LMR. If somebody's talking about, I don't have a fiber. I can't really use your artwork. Maybe you should do something in diode. Well, then you've got a very narrow mindset there, buddy. Because I took his artwork. I don't have a fiber, but I took that artwork and made a really nice 6.5 inch tall plaque with that artwork on it, freestanding, and made 2 of them actually, and gave those away as gifts yesterday. So that artwork is really nice, and those were a big hit. So
I said that.
It doesn't have to be just on metal or for fibers. The artwork can be used for about any project.
I pointed out at the beginning of the video that you're getting the Lightburn file and the vector file, and you can use that on any material, on any laser that you want to.
Yeah.
And also,
don't limit yourself.
Okay, so also you're not limited to, this is on a diode laser, so you can see that stainless steel.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And on the Rolly, actually, let me switch cameras so you can see it better. I think if I switch over to the other camera, you'll probably get a better idea of what it looks like. Let's see. I don't know if this one will pick it up because of the light, but there it is. No, always go the wrong way.
Yeah, that
no,
whole
this
mirror
one doesn't
thing,
really. There you go. There it is. So this was done on the Lasermatic 10. But yeah, I mean, you can do stainless on anything, and this is the perfect example.
And I want to take a second here to address Chad. Chad mentions that purse has been up on that shelf for a long time. It's a collector's item. All right, you smarty pants. That's a purse that has been on the shelf. But I make those things weekly. That one, like I said, it's got the hearts on it. It's the Valentine's theme, but it can be anytime. But no, Chad, that's not the one same purse. I could pan around over there and show you. I've got 4 of them on the shelf over right now waiting to be picked up. But
yeah, that's what I was going to say. I know you made 4 of them this last week.
But thank you for noticing and paying attention, Chad. And then this one, I don't know, it's a little bit off topic, but it kind of ties into, you just said you were marking your stainless with your diode. Daniel asked, can you guys explain the science behind Norton white tile method? I don't want to go into real lengthy in that because I want to look at what Patrick's done with his project too. But the real quick, from what I've learned in the year of researching, Daniel,
the dioxide.
Exactly. Titanium dioxide. If you find, this is just pure titanium dioxide in a powder form, but the white paints, the zinc oxide coatings, any of the coatings that work, that leave a permanent mark, is because of the titanium dioxide content. The higher the content, the better, the more permanent the marking, the easier it is to use. But the different ways that you can get that with the white Norton, the white spray paints and all that, it's a headache of cleaning up. Yeah. And what I was shocked to learn,
this is the most recent testing that I've been doing with the Rust-Oleum High Heat Ultra. This also has the titanium dioxide in it.
But then whenever you're done with that engraving, you've got what do you use, paint thinner or some?
Yeah, the cleanup is horrible.
Yeah,
so that's why I like to use the tempera paint.
Yep. And the tempera paints, that's what, like a finger paint?
Tempera paint is a washable paint. It's a water-based paint. Comes right off. You just run it under the sink. And also, I think, Steve, didn't you make a video on that recently?
I was actually about to, but
Oh, I thought you just did one on glass with the tempera paint.
no, I'm certainly thinking about it. I've
Okay,
mentioned
well,
it in comments a couple of times. People
that's
are
going to
asking.
have to be your assignment, I guess, this week.
Yeah, maybe. I have to
But
get this snap maker done first.
I've just started experimenting with different types of things with glass, and I don't know what I did with that piece of glass around here somewhere. But I found that there's not many different things that you can use. Don't know what I did with that piece of glass. Here it is. I haven't cleaned this one off yet, but my first mistake was, and I should have known better, you can't use white. So I wound up fracturing the glass in two different places because of the white. But I did do this, and I'm about to clean this off. And so far, it looks like the tempera, looking at it from the backside, is going to be the best outcome. Let's see if I can zoom in. You can see it's a beautiful white. So the tempera, and also over here is going to be the regular Rust-Oleum black. Both of those came out really good. All of the other products that I used on here didn't come out well at all. So I'm not even going to experiment with it anymore, because there's just, so far I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. I did the other glass with 8 other products. So 16 different products from things that you see on the internet, on YouTube, and really haven't come up with anything better than the tempera paint. And the best thing about it is that the Dollar Tree has, I think it's a 12-ounce bottle for $1.25, or Walmart's got the 16-ounce bottle for like $2.99. And I do have the Surmark on there as well, and Surmark does work well with glass as well. So, but that's, you're talking hugely, very expensive, for that. But I don't know, Gio, have you ever done any experimenting with glass?
I have. I did a little bit with CO2, but not anything with a fiber, and I don't have a diode yet, so we'll get there.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to get you a diode.
I have used tempera with glass and the fiber before.
How'd that come out, Patrick?
Depends on the glass. It's like, and for me, it seems there's a fine line between like nailing the setting and too much power, and you end up cracking it. So I think it depends on the quality of the glass you're using and its composition.
Yeah. Okay.
And I answered Meryl's question in chat. An airbrush paint sprayer, or one of the little Harbor Freight paint sprayers you can get to attach to the end of your air hose, one of the high volume, low pressure. Those work great for getting a nice even coating.
Absolutely. That is the best way to do it. But I have found that I've tried several different ways. I've been fooling with the tempera paint for about 6 or 7 months. And in those different ways that I've tried, I find the blotter method is the best. Put a thick coat on top, smear it all around, and then just take your napkin or whatever. A napkin is what I find. Paper towel is the best thing that I've used. I make it into a ball and I just blot all around on the glass, because tempera paint, as it dries, it self-levels. So if you just go around and blot, and then I use my heat gun and I just fire the heat gun at it for about a minute or so, it all self-levels out, and you get a nice level coat of paint.
All right, moving on down the line here, progressing in the questions, and this one can be covered kind of quickly. Jim's asking about,
Hi, Jim.
How do you put lettering or another picture in front of another object? And I think he's talking about as far as creating an offset and then using that offset as a tool to cut out the image, and then you can lay the lettering, the text, or an image on top of another. If that's what you're referring to, Jim, it's that simple. If it's text, go to your offset tool, create an offset large enough that you want it to be where exposing your text or your other artwork, and then use that offset as a cut path. And you use with your Boolean assistant, if you're not familiar with exactly which Boolean tool to use, and you can see which one is going to create the outcome that you're looking for, and then that leaves your text proud and prominent and on top of or outlined around the artwork behind it.
Okay.
Anybody else got any tips or for Jim?
Hi, Wendy.
That's
Good to
how I
see
do
you
it.
in the chat.
Yeah, learn the cut shapes tool. Make sure your layers are in the order that you want them to display. Make sure they're all set to fill so that they cut and auto join themselves.
And another thing is if you're using the offset as your cut tool, but you want to keep that, then you need to create 2 offsets, because when you use that as offset as a cut tool, once you cut, it's gone. So you'd create 2 offsets, use the first one as your cut tool, and then you'd have your next or your second one remaining.
Yep. I think it is a cookie cutter, and once you use the cookie cutter, you throw it away and you never see it again. So if you want another one, you better make a copy.
So everything Texas Laser says, did you say that you can use black tempera? It's tempera, T-E-M-P-E-R-A paint. And yes, it works on ceramic tile. It works on glass. It works on, several different things. So I've been using it now for, over a year, really. I've been testing it with other things for about 6 months. And hang on a second, because we got to bring you up, Steve.
Oh, there it is.
There you go. That's the Walmart one.
Yeah.
The Prang. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So what size was that?
This is.
That looks bigger than the one that.
Yeah, it's probably going to be. Actually, it doesn't even have a size. Oh, 32 ounce.
32. Yeah, I think I got the 16 for $2.99. I don't know how much the 32.
Yeah,
is.
I don't know how much that was.
Yeah, but it's reasonable enough as compared to everything else that's on the market. I mean, $43. I can show you a $43 can.
I think I know what the can you're going to get.
Of Surmark.
Oh God,
is the size of my finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is 2 ounces of spray.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it does go a long way, but still, $43 for 2 ounces is a lot of money.
Especially when you're testing a setting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, especially, half of what you're going to do is going to be testing. So, wasted material and until you get it down right. But yeah, that tempera is the best way to go, in my opinion.
Yeah. You'd have a hard time to carry $32 worth of tempera paint. So.
Yeah. And it's easy to find just about anywhere.
All art stores have it. It's online.
So everything Texas was just had a question, but I followed up with another one there. Hate to keep asking, but I need to know if the Otor rotary chuck will work with the Comgrow or the Aether laser before I purchase it. Does anybody know?
Should.
Well, go ahead, Steve.
It should. I mean, in worst case, you may have to use. You're talking about the RA2, I assume. You may have to use the other cable. There's 2 wirings for stepper motors, depending on which motor you have, and the cable comes with the RA2 for both of them. So it's one or the other.
Yeah, I think he was talking about the Otor chuck rotary.
Sorry. Well, same thing. It's just the standard stepper motor.
So the Otor comes with 2 extra cables. So there are actually 3 different wirings for most diode lasers. And the Otor does come with the extra 2. So you've got 2 adapters, and then you've got the regular plug that's for the Otor laser itself.
Good to know.
So that answers that question. Hey, Patrick, do you have any donations for me to add to the wheel? Can you check on that? I'm
getting ready to check.
All right.
And this next question I've actually addressed twice this week on my channel. And Moondog's asking if we could do another video on closing shapes, as some of the files I have downloaded are saying shapes are set to fill but weren't closed, and they got over 100. I'll tell you, Moondog, what I have found to be one of the easiest solutions for solving open paths is selecting the object and just doing a 0 offset and deleting the original selection, and the new created offset should be a closed path and eliminates all those open issues. So you may be, depending on how complicated your design is, that might be something you try. Just select one that's open, do a 0 offset, delete the original selected piece, and it may solve your issue.
That works perfectly. And I've also found that sometimes on some files, if you increase the tolerance, you can select all of them, and then you can do edit close paths with the tolerance, and you just have to check and see what the tolerance has to be, how far apart are the lines, just by zooming in on it. But
and I've had mixed
thing to do is the offset.
Yeah, I've had mixed success with that closed path tool, even increasing the tolerance. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But I've always seemed to have success with doing the offset. Yeah,
offset works perfectly. But when you have 100 shapes, people buy these files off of Etsy, and they're not designed for lasers, even though the artist says, I'm going to sell this as a laser design. 90% of the files, unless you're buying like Steve's files that are proven, where you have, someone who's in the laser field that designed the file, that's selling it on Etsy, most of them are not. So you're going to get files that are going to have open paths, and that's, you just can't get around it. And Steve and Hobo says, selecting them and offsetting them is the best way, and it is. But sometimes that's just not feasible. You have to play. You have to close all paths with tolerance and just keep increasing the tolerance until you get them to close. So, and in some cases that even might ruin the design, so it's just a matter of buying the right files in the first place. And if you're part of the laser makers realm, if you're subscribed to us, well, then you get to watch our videos and download those files for free. So that's a good solution to your problem right there. And we've just started on the cut. So let me see if I can switch cameras here real quick. So the engraving is now done on all 4 of those pieces, and we're starting on the cut. And I am trusting the library that I spent a lot of time building so that this just comes right off the laser bed and is ready to assemble. And I've got all 4 of them in there on this 12-inch piece of wood. I'm going to take a peek real close and cheat. And I got to tell you, that is awfully close to the edge of this wood, but the accuracy is 100%. It is right on the edge of the wood.
All right, we got this is a rather lengthy question, 2-parter here, or 2 posts. In Lightburn, this is from Bob the Tech Guy. In Lightburn, if I stop a burn, clicking go to origin never makes the laser go there, just stays where it stopped, can never get it back to the origin set position, so the job is ruined. Paul's then stop does the same thing. Lightburn forums have had no suggestions, and he's using the D1 Pro, and he loves all our channels.
Thank you for that. Well, the problem is you're using the D1 Pro, in my opinion. Your problem is not unique. So there are so many little gremlins in the control board, in the firmware for the X tool, that when you really start using it professionally, you're going to run into those gremlins, and you're not going to be able to solve them. So I'm sorry to say.
Well, now here it's not that you can't solve them, but you have to jump through so many hoops to get there. And having used the X Tool D1 and finding a workaround on some of those headaches, one thing I would suggest to you is before you start any burn project, any cutting, home the laser. It's going to go to some crazy, stupid position because of lack of limit switches. But it'll be in that general vicinity.
Only on the old one. The new one has 4 limit switches.
Good.
The D1 Pro has 4.
D1
4
Pro.
limit
All
switches.
right. Good.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't pay attention if he's got the Pro or not. But even there, you still got the same issues with the control boards and some of the other things. I set my return to finish position at a known position, be it 1010 or 2020, whatever. I'll send the laser out to do a random little job at a very low output that's not going to do anything, and then it's going to return to that position. Now, that is where I start my actual project from.
Right.
That is now a fixed position. And by doing that, and then the other thing you got to do is you better not be moving that laser by hand. Because if you touch and move that laser once you've done that, it's not going to go back to any known position because it don't know that you've moved it.
Yep,
So
exactly.
quit you moving those X tools by hand. Set a return to position finish and use that as your start position finish. And then if you have to stop a job and you can actually tell it to go to finished position instead of telling it to go home. And then you can restart from there, and you can sometimes save a job without it being ruined. I've done it a few times, but only after ruining quite a few with the X tool.
Yeah. So DJS 751 is saying, what do you guys think of the X Tool F1 coming out soon? Well, I don't think anyone's seen it yet. The X Tool is taking orders on it. I know that much. And I don't know. I really don't know anything about it, so I can't comment on it.
I have one that's supposed to be coming to me. Well, they originally said in February, but we're running out of time. So,
yeah, they've so far they've asked me to look at their F1 and they've asked me to look at their new CO2, but I really don't want to. I really don't want to look at any of the X Tool products after my experience with the original D1 and the support experience that I had from them, especially being a YouTube creator. And, you would think that they would give me excellent support.
I'm actually going to do a video soon on how to make a D1 actually accurate.
There you go. So thank you for that, Steve. We appreciate that. For you guys that don't know Steve's channel, I will put that up on the screen. Hang on one second.
I've got your names ready for you when you're ready for me to go.
Yeah. Okay. So you can go to youtube.com at Steve Makes Everything and subscribe to that channel. Click on the bell notifications. Absolutely do that. Not just for the review that he's got coming up, but for all of his videos. Like I said earlier, it's a great channel. It's easy to watch. It's not something that you want to back out of right away. Steve's a very personable guy. I happen to like him very much. He is one of my favorite YouTube channels. So go over there, youtube.com/ at Steve Makes Everything, and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Okay, Patrick, go. I'm ready to put him in.
All right. Chad, do you want the last names or last initial?
Oh, just the last initial.
J.
Okay.
Nathan P as in Paul. Harry F as in Frank.
Wait, what was that one?
Harry.
Carrie?
Harry with an H.
Harry, okay.
Terry with a T.
Terry?
Yep. M
okay,
is the initial.
Okay.
See Daniel S. Mike J. Merrill A. And let's see, I think that is it for today.
Okay. I've got them all in there, and anybody else that makes donations, we're going to spin the wheel later on. This is software control, so has nothing to do with us. It's actually a website where it's just a random name generator, and we're going to find out who's going to win that purse. How many people are in there for the purse? Actually, just give me the purse ones first, so that we could do them separately?
Those were all of them, and they were all $20 or more.
Oh, fantastic. All right, great. So we've got a good little group of names there ready for that spin, and you're going to be in 2 spins now. One for the purse and another one for the Lightburn library on the flash drive with some additional files, some art libraries as well.
And Patrick.
So,
Yep, and the pendant.
yes, and the pendant. Yeah, we're going to do 3 spins today. I'm sorry. Yep, 3 spins today.
See if autofocus is working now.
Okay, hang on 1 second. Let me
Maybe
put you
I
up there.
don't have. No, don't do it yet. I don't have.
That's all right. We'll watch.
Nah, still not working.
Wendy suggested you put a bag over your head. It was focusing on your face.
I switched cameras, and it's still not focusing.
Patrick, try covering
No
the
biggie.
back of it with your hand so it blocks your face.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna have to. I think my Droid cam might not be set to autofocus continuous.
Oh, okay. Let me go and check on the I want to just check on the laser for a minute and see how it's doing with its job. It's probably close to almost halfway there on the cut. So it's finished with the all the engraving, and it's now working out the cut. I'm gonna take another peek at it. Oh wow. This top part, let me tell you, I came within about a half a millimeter of the top of that board. See if I can point to it. I don't know if I can ever get my finger in the right spot here. Nope. Right there. That top cut, that top piece right there is about half a millimeter, excuse me, from the top of the wood. So that's how accurate you can get. And I think that's what the measurement was, 299.5, if I'm not mistaken.
Now you have a K40, don't you, Rich?
I have 3 of them, yeah.
Okay, so Thomas was asking if anyone's using a rotary with the K40 CO2.
Yeah, you can use any diode laser rotary with a K40. Either you're going to have, the M2 Nano board, or you might have, there's like 5 different boards that come with the K40. All of them are CNC boards, and they all have the same plug as the X and Y axis as the diode laser does. So you can use any diode rotary. And I know a lot of people, they cut the bottom of the K40 out so that they can put the rotary underneath, on a table with a cutout that matches, and you can put the rotary underneath, maybe on a table, a scissor jack, and raise it up and down till you get the right focus. So yeah, you can. And if you use a diode roller accessory, so you want to make sure you don't use the CO2s, because they're all going to be 2 and 3 phase, and they're not going to work on the K40. Consider your K40 the same thing as a diode when it comes to control software.
All right, and you showed your bottle opener a minute ago where you did some engraving on the stainless with a diode.
Yes, I did.
And Dave Fisher is asking if is any prep required to engrave stainless using a diode, and in the approximate setting is on a 5-watt.
Okay, so on the 10-watt, I've done stainless on a diode with the 5-watt. I can't remember what the settings are, but it's very slow, and it's 100% power. I think I was probably with the tempera paint, I think it was somewhere in the area of 60 millimeters per minute, or 1 millimeter per second, depending on the numbers you use. You should be in millimeters per minute, but that was the number I think I used. 60 millimeters per minute, 100% power, tempera paint with the 5-watt. With the 10-watt, it's a lot faster. I think it was 90 millimeters per minute.
But now, did you use tempera to do that bottle opener?
No, I didn't use. There was no accelerant used on that. I changed the frequency of the laser from 10,000 to 1,000, and that accounts for the difference whether or not you have to use an accelerant.
But you can't change frequency on all diodes.
Well, I don't know that for a fact. I haven't actually tried it. I only tried it on the O-Tour. It looked like the control board accepted it, but when I ran the job, it didn't work. So as I understand it, not all lasers have totally open source software where you can change settings that you can't see. So on this Lasermatic 10, it does have open source, and I am able to change you can try it. The $1.28 is the code for the Gerbil code for frequency. And if you change it from 10,000, just put $1.28 equals 1,000, hit enter, run the job, see if that works for you. If it works for you, then it works on your laser. If it doesn't, change it back, $1.28 equals 10,000. Put it back to your normal frequency. Not all lasers, as I understand it, all diode lasers are going to have frequency control.
And if you mentioned, or you showed that Ceramark and how expensive that thing is, there is another alternative out there, and I did a video. You can look back on my channel just a few weeks ago, and this is stainless steel, and this is done with the diode, and that is a real permanent mark, and that was done with the Brilliance laser spring. And what I liked about the Brilliance, I hate about all those others, is the cleanup. The Brilliance, I think it's really not much more than just a glorified titanium dioxide and a really good delivery system, because you just spray it on, do your engraving, and wipe it off with a towel. There's no other cleanup required.
Yeah, I have some Brilliance here. And I remember also in that video, Steve, you actually polished that with a steel polish.
Oh yeah. After I wanted to test it and see if I could remove it. It was not to try and improve it. I wanted to take that off, and I could not get that. I used a jewelry polish and really went at it aggressive, and it didn't come off. But that's something to take a look at, and it's half the price of the Ceramark. And if you go check that video out, there's also a link in there. You get a discount on it too.
Cool. Hey, Patrick.
Yeah.
I was cruising on YouTube this morning, and I saw your short on that business card rotary that you did.
Oh yeah.
Can I see it? Can I take a look at it? Do you have it handy?
Oh, sure. I can bring it up on screen if you like.
Yeah, Patrick made a device that works on the rotary for his fiber laser, and it just keeps doing business card after business card. It's really cool. I was watching YouTube this morning, and I was mesmerized by it. I watched that short over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's nice that Lightburn's finally added that feature. I know EasyCat's had it for a while.
Yeah. Okay, there's the short, and there's the device. I believe you made that out of acrylic. Patrick? Hello. I think he's got it muted. That is just so cool.
Yeah, he made that out of acrylic.
Yeah, that's just the neatest thing.
That was video number 2. I'd actually put one out earlier.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Let's see. Well, that's not it. Stop it. You guys aren't hearing the audio from that, are you?
No, we didn't hear any audio. Not even you, I think.
Well, I had it muted because I didn't figure you wanted to hear the music that went along with it.
That's all right. Gio answered for you.
Okay, cool.
Is that acrylic piece? Is that going to be are you going to have that available for sale?
Yes, I am. I am going to assemble that and sell it, and also sell the file.
Nice. Very nice. Look at that. Look at that, folks. You drop in your business cards or whatever.
Yep, I was controlling that with EasyCAD, and then
Right.
the previous video I was actually using the Lightburn Beta.
So Patrick will have these available for sale if you wanted to buy one. I really love the idea of not having, instead of changing every single card, you can do 6 at a time. I think that's a great idea.
And it also doubles for minimalist wallets. So it's will not only do business cards, you can also put the minimalist wallets in there. It'll hold it nice and level and spin it around and engrave them.
So let me just
it's kind of uniquely a fiber problem, though, right?
Yeah.
I could use this on my CO2 Galvo.
Yeah, it's a regular rotary, so you can use it on CO2 or fiber.
Yeah, with a CO2, you just put down a whole array of cards and just cut them, right?
Well, that's true.
No, true. Well, if I had a CO2 Galvo and I was doing wooden pencils, I'm going to make a pen pencil modification for this, so then I could just have a crap load of pencils spinning around in my CO2 Galvo, marking the wood pencils, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you can pretty much do that forever. So Wendy was asking the basics. Oh, she was answering a question.
Yeah,
never mind.
Actually,
never mind.
the CO2 Galvo is right here.
Hi, Thomas. No problem.
V Swan asked a question that was brought up on our last one, and I don't remember the answer to it. Basic question: what's the best way to clean the residue off that honeycomb? I hate that too, V. So what was it you said, Rich? To clean up that sticky off of the honeycomb?
I personally use cleaning vinegar that you can pick up at Walmart. It's not like it's not food grade. It's made for cleaning, and I have a spray bottle filled with it, and I spray down the honeycomb bed, flip it over, spray the other side, and get it good and wet, and I let it sit. For some reason, putting it in the sun, it's sort of like bleach. Bleach does the same thing. Putting it in the sun activates it, and then you can just rinse it off with a garden hose, or in my case, I use a small pressure washer, and it comes out like brand new.
And just trying to move through some of these questions, try to get to everybody. I've got this problem with one of my honeycombs that's pushing a year old now. He says he's got a 60-watt Monport with a 20 by 28 honeycomb, sags in the middle about 2 millimeter. And any ideas on how to level it out?
I don't know. Flip it over.
and how old is it? Like I said, mine's pushing a year old, and after all of the pushing of all those dogs and keeping everything locked down, it's just bowing, and it's just time to get a new honeycomb.
Yeah. If you're using dogs, that's going to happen. So if you're not using magnets and you use dogs instead, you're always going to have that problem when you push down on it to set the dog in place.
Yeah.
It's going to affect the honeycomb. It also depends on the manufacturer and how many supports they put in the honeycomb and which direction they run in. So I noticed that a lot of the manufacturers put them in the long direction instead of the short direction, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. That's an engineering issue.
And there was a question that was brought up before the show even started. Someone was talking about how they recommendations for sealing the wood, because anything they were putting on there, it was just soaking it up like a sponge. And I replied in the comments that what I've found on some of the hobby woods is actually putting a thin coat of shellac on after the engraving, and then doing whatever kind of painting or coloring or finish that I want to do to it. The shellac seemed to seal that up, but didn't really discolor the wood, and also sealed it and kept everything from absorbing in.
Yeah, and shellac is actually it's the residue of a bug.
Yeah,
and the shellac brand is the only brand that I'll use, the shellac brand. So I kind of stay away from all others because they do yellow over time. The shellac just gives it a nice wood colored light oak tint where it doesn't yellow, but it gives it a nice look and a high gloss shine. If you're looking for high gloss, shellac is the best.
Yeah, and everything Texas Laser Creations was asking before or after lasering should it. Now, I've always done it after. Do you have a
Yes,
yeah? Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. After there's that acrylic holder.
Yeah, I'm
For
just
the
showing
rotary.
how it will hold the wallets level as well.
Oh,
As-
yeah.
But yep, that's it.
Now those are those the RFID wallets?
That's correct.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but you
Yeah,
really
you
need to
have
get
you have
really
experience with this
need to get
recently.
an RFID. Yeah. So real quickly, let me tell you what just happened. My experience with it. We have a house in the Philippines. My wife is from the Philippines, and she went there to do some repairs back in January, and within 5 minutes of her landing in Subic, all of a sudden I get a charge on my credit card from American Express for $3.50. It was a test charge that somebody did. Somebody scanned her as she walked by, got the credit card, I guess, that was on top, closest to them, and American Express. And no, that was actually Prime Visa. And they immediately emailed the data to somebody in Canada who did the test charge. And so I turned the card off right away, obviously. But you definitely want to get one of those RFID wallets if you don't have one, especially if you're traveling. I'm guessing that this person probably just walked around the airport all day, and scanning people as you walk by and picking up credit card information. So keep that in mind next time you travel, or even if you're not traveling, if you live in a place like I do, like New Orleans, and you go into the city, well, you really want to be prepared.
One of our donors is in the witness protection plan and has had to change his name, and he wants to make sure you get it right. Chad J is me. PayPal listed under my former last name. So Chad J is actually Chad F. So whenever
that's okay. We're Patrick has all of that information. He's going to be the one that's going to email the winners, and he'll email you and me, and that's it. All we need is name and address. Doesn't matter.
But
I'll be the one. Yeah, I'll be the one spamming your inbox in the future.
Yeah, nobody else is going to get that information, so you don't have to worry about that.
He says that's his former last name, so nobody tell the mafia he's now Chad F. It's keep that.
I'm not gonna say a thing.
Yeah, keep that between us. And
Gio, make sure you don't tell anybody that.
GB,
I heard nothing.
SF wants to know, how often have you had to clean your rolly enclosure? Now, how long have you had that up and running? How many hours have you put on it? And have you had to clean the inside of your enclosure? And if so, how often?
I've had it for run hours is just over 200. I intentionally, it just finished the job. Let me do this while I answer. I intentionally didn't clean it at first and ran the first 100 hours and then cleaned it, and there was virtually nothing to clean. So I'd like you to see how close to the edge I got with accuracy. Can you see that?
Paper thin.
Less than paper thin. I mean, that's it doesn't get any better than that. And I'm not going to take all of the pieces out of here. I'll just grab a couple just to show you.
I got a question for Gio whenever we want to change subjects.
So here is, let me come back to a larger screen here real quick. Here are the small pieces, and you can see what a perfectly clean cut this is. So this library is dialed in without a doubt. Here's the engraving. And here you can see the cut. You can see how perfectly dialed in the cut is on this with this library. And just so that you know, and this is just a couple of pieces that I just took off, they're all cut out. They're all engraved, ready for assembly. So just so that you know, this 10-watt library will work on any 10-watt laser that's of decent quality. So, you know, as long as you have a 10-watt laser that's of decent quality with a small spot size of 0.08, let's say, which most of them are going to be in the 0.08 to 0.1 range, this library will work for you. So, you know, if you, I will also have this library available for sale in my online store for $7.99, and that's because I've put 200 hours of work into it and a whole lot of materials. You know, I've done everything from acrylic, like these little guys here. That's 3/4 of an inch, all the way up to cardboard, which I showed you earlier, the cardboard cutout. And this library is really dialed in. So all of the Rolly owners are going to get this for free from Leo at Rolly. That file will be going out to him on Tuesday, and whenever I guess he emails it to everybody, maybe Wednesday or Thursday. All of the Rolly owners, which, by the way, thank you everybody for selling out that product. It's a fantastic machine, and you really helped kickstart this project. So they're very grateful for that. They've already expanded the factory, knocked down the wall to the next building and taken over the next building, started to train some staff. And you can be sure that every single product is still going to be hand tested because these people are just in training. So if you haven't looked at the Rolly LaserMatic 10 yet, go to my channel and look at the review on it. It was absolutely awesome. And I've been stuck on it for the last 3 weeks. So
and I'm super jelly. Amy Moore says that's the best, or the business card rotary is the best I've seen by far. So big hit with Amy there. So she's gonna be one of the first ones to sign up to buy it there, Patrick.
Yep, I'm gonna charge her at least triple.
Triple? Okay.
Yeah. It is my wife, so obviously she should pay more.
Well, at the very least. And you mentioned, Rich, that the shellac was from bugs, and Jack in the shop says he didn't know that this was bug poop. Well, it's not technically bug poop, Jack.
It's bug slime.
It's the excretions. If you look at it, that's the fancy word they use is excretion. So it's like sweat, but they excrete it. And now, if you really want to be grossed out by it, look at some of your favorite candies you eat. All that shiny coating on your candies, that's shellac, baby.
That's shellac. That's right. Yeah. They do have a food grade shellac, and it's not actually poop.
No,
it's a secretion.
Yeah.
You know, sort of like when a slug moves along, it leaves a trail, you know, that you can see. Something similar to that. But the shellac has been around for 4,000 years or so. People have been using it. So great product. You know, it's a great finishing product. It lasts. I have some projects that I made 5 years ago that I shellacked that look exactly the same today as they did 5 years ago. And with other clear coats, I don't get the same result. And in fact, some of them, which one was that? Was it the Valspar? I don't remember which one it was. I think it was the Valspar, actually peeled after about a year. And that was a house sign that was in the sun. And I've done a bunch of house signs with the shellac. One of them is about 7 years old, and it hasn't peeled yet. So it still looks new.
Just about caught up with the questions. I'll finish this and we'll jump over to the subject you want to get with Patrick. But Texas Laser Engraving here, Texas Laser Creations, has been all over this post today. He's wanting to point him to an in-depth video on how to use the other options other than starting from home positions. If I just did a video myself, I think it was set your finished position. Just in the past couple of weeks, if you go to my channel and look at that, it talks about setting your finished position. And I'm pretty sure it goes in depth there. But if you have any questions, put some comments in that video for me, and I'll get back to you. And
Another
I think,
thing too is another thing too. While you're on that topic, is
Yep.
I've done several videos. Several of my older videos I've done on using different positions. If you're using absolute coordinates, I have on my forum. I have a few different ones that you can download there to burn onto your wasteboard, and you can use any position that you want. What I used to do was take a piece of cardboard. First thing I did was I would cut the cardboard to the exact dimensions. So, and those dimensions were 380 by 380. That's what my cut was. So I would cut the cardboard to 380 by 380. Then I burned a square on my wasteboard that was 380 by 380. And really, you just need two lines, bottom and a side. And then I would line up that cardboard to those two lines, pin it in place, and burn a waste grid on there with different boxes and different sizes. And like I said, you could download those waste grid burns on my forum for free. And then you can position anywhere you want on that cardboard for engraving. You could put a 4-inch coaster in the 4-inch square in the middle, or the one up on top, or you can do 9 coasters, just line them up on the cardboard and hit start. You don't have to position a laser. They're not designed to be positioned, and I wish people would stop moving them by hand.
Yeah.
So,
That's
it's so simple to set up a waste grid, and once you've done it, you'll never move that laser head by hand again, and you won't have the issues of a burn not coming out right. You may have 7 of the 9 coasters that came out perfect, but 2 of them are a little bit light because of the wood grain or whatever. Well, you can put those 7 on a tool path and rerun the job again just on those 2 if you've got everything in absolute coordinates. If you've homed your machine before the job, it's a CNC machine. Use it as one. So we're at, let's see, we're at 1 hour and 22 minutes. Trying to hit a goal today of an hour and a half. How are we doing on the names, Patrick? Do we have any more names to add to the wheel?
Add Otten Woodworking to the wheel.
Spell that for me.
OTTON.
Okay.
Thank you, Otten Woodworking.
For all three of the spins.
Correct.
All right. So we've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. Hey, folks, last chance on the spin the wheel. We're going to close that in 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes. We're going to close that in 2 minutes. So if you want, down on the bottom of the screen there, you'll see that we've got that scrolling by with the address for PayPal to send donations to the channel so that we can keep buying products and keep bringing you videos and be able to afford to do all this. So go ahead and get your PayPal donation in now. We're going to be spinning off one of Hobo's purses, which has a value of $180 to $200, somewhere in that range.
Yep.
That's what he sells them for.
Yep.
And we're also going to be spinning off one of my flash drives with my library for a 10-watt diode laser and some art libraries as well. And the third spin is going to be with for Patrick for his stainless steel religious cross pendant. So we have 3 different spins coming up. Got just about a minute or so left to go ahead and send in your donation to the channel. And everyone that does is going to be in the spin, and we're going to find out.
That looks good, Patrick. That's actually good in focus. That one worked.
Yeah,
And he muted again. Oh, no.
And just a quick note that the time that it took on the Rolly, the estimate in Lightburn, was 1 hour and 25 minutes, I believe it was, and it came in a little bit early.
There you go. That looks good.
That's a new camera that I just got to have focused on the laser bed, and it's doing a pretty good job.
Do we still have time to address that question or subject that Patrick was wanting to talk about?
Yeah, it won't take too long.
Go
Go
for it.
I've just asked Gio if he could give just a overview explanation to our viewers of a Mopa fiber laser versus a non-Mopa fiber laser, because I saw a video where somebody has said, "Hey, look, it's not a fiber laser, it's a Mopa," when in fact it is a fiber laser. It's just a different category. So I just thought might help our viewers understand, as we go through and I receive my Mopa laser, and then Gio gets more content on his channel.
Yeah. So a fiber laser is, they all use a fiber optic cable that goes from the beam generation source to the head, and then goes through the lens. So that's your basic fiber laser. The difference between a Mopa and it's called a Q switch is the other option. So like your Reka sources are a Q switch, and what it does is it acts like a gate. So it charges up, and then that switch opens and releases the energy. A Mopa, on the other hand, it goes through a series of amplifiers that slowly ramps up the energy, and you can control on some Mopas. So like all JPT sources are a Mopa, but some of them have a fixed pulse width. So like your LPE series, the 20 watts, 30 watts, 50 watts, they're fixed. You cannot change your pulse width. But when you get into the 60 watts, 80s, 100s, there are some 30s and 20s that you also can get as a Mopa. You can adjust that pulse width, and what that does is it changes the duration of the power that comes out. But it's still technically a fiber laser.
Okay, thanks for that explanation.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Patrick, is there any more names to add?
One last refresh.
And do you want to do a recap and make sure you got them, or you feel good that you? I'd hate for somebody to say, "Hey, man, I'm not on there."
Patrick can see them there on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
I'll reconcile here real quick. Okay, two more to add.
All right.
Michael S is in Sam, and Michael M is in Mary.
Steve, I think you have your video playing in the background there. All right, so does that look good?
Should have 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
10.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, here we go, folks. The first spin today is going to be for Hobo's wooden purse, valued at $180 to $200. And here we go. And that is going to be Merrill A.
Merrill, congratulations, Merrill.
All right.
Awesome.
Patrick, you got that?
Got it.
All right. We are ready for the next spin. The next spin is going to be for the 10-watt diode laser library on the flash drive. And here we go. Good luck, everybody. And that's going to be Chad.
And witness protection.
Okay, Patrick, you got that?
Yes, sir.
All right, and here we go. The last and final spin today is going to be for the religious stainless steel cross pendant that Patrick did. So here we go. Good luck, everybody. I'm glad we added that Michael S. to the end there, just in time.
Thanks to everybody that contributed today. Greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was fun.
Both monetary contributions and contributing to the questions. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And I want to especially thank Gio and Steve. So Geo is youtube.com/@makertheory, and that's MAKRTHEORY. A little twist on the spelling there. And don't forget about Steve with Steve Makes Everything, youtube.com/@Steve Makes Everything. Great channel to look at. Go take a look at their channels. Like, subscribe to videos. You're going to like and subscribe to the videos anyway. And I want to say thank you to everybody that's out there that made this stream possible. We hit our goal today, 1 hour and 30 minutes and 46 seconds. Thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you for the donations. And we look forward to seeing you in the next live stream in 2 weeks.
Thank you,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys.
All right. Thank you.